The high defensive line? Most teams defend deep. They sit back, pack the box, and hope the striker misses. Arsenal do the opposite. They push their defensive line so high up the pitch that the opposition barely has room to breathe in their own half. We're talking about a back four that sits almost in the middle of the pitch when Arsenal have the ball. The idea is simple: compress the space. Make the pitch feel tiny for the other team. When the space between Arsenal's defense and their attack is small, the opposition can't play through the lines. There's nowhere to receive the ball. There's no gap to exploit. The high line is the foundation of everything Arsenal do defensively. But it only works if every single player buys into it completely. One person steps out of line, and the whole thing collapses. The offside trap. Here's where it gets beautiful. Because Arsenal's line is so high, they're constantly setting offside traps. The moment an opposition player tries to play a ball in behind, Arsenal's defenders step up together, in perfect sync, and the striker is caught offside before the ball even arrives. This isn't accidental. It's drilled on the training ground every single day. William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhães have developed an almost telepathic understanding of when to hold the line and when to step. Watch any Arsenal match closely and you'll see it. A striker makes a run, the ball is played, and the flag goes up. The trap has been sprung. But here's the thing. This only works because the whole team presses from the front. The offside trap and the press are the same weapon. They feed each other. If the forwards don't press, the opposition has time to pick their pass. They can wait for the perfect moment to play the ball in behind. The trap fails. But when the forwards press hard and fast, the opposition is rushed. They play the ball early. They play it at the wrong time. And Saliba and Gabriel are already stepping up before the ball even leaves the passer's foot. That's the genius of it. The press creates the offside. The offside rewards the press trigger. Arsenal don't just press randomly. That would be chaos. Instead, they press on specific triggers, moments in the game where the opposition is vulnerable. The most common trigger is a back pass to the goalkeeper. The moment a defender plays it back, Arsenal's forwards sprint. The goalkeeper is now under pressure. He has to go long, and going long into a high defensive line is basically giving the ball straight back to Arsenal. Another trigger is a miscontrol. If an opposition player takes a heavy touch, Arsenal's nearest player closes immediately. The rest of the team shifts across to cut off every passing lane. There's also the sideways pass trigger. When the ball moves across the back line with no forward option, Arsenal recognize that as a moment of weakness. The team shifts together, cuts the angle, and forces the play backwards. The press isn't about running hard. It's about running smart. Every player knows exactly where to go the moment the trigger happens. It's coordinated chaos, and it's terrifying to play against. The role of the fullbacks. This is where Arsenal's system gets genuinely different from most teams. Their fullbacks, Ben White on the right and Oleksandr Zinchenko on the left, don't behave like traditional fullbacks at all. When Arsenal have the ball, they invert. White tucks into midfield. Zinchenko drifts inside and essentially becomes a third central midfielder. This creates a completely different shape in possession. But defensively, it also changes everything. Because they're already positioned centrally, they can press central areas immediately when the ball is lost. There's no sprint back from a wide position. They're already there. White in particular is exceptional at reading when to step out and press, and when to hold his position and protect the space behind. Zinchenko brings a different quality. His reading of the game is more like a midfielder than a defender. He anticipates where the ball is going, intercepts passes, and breaks up play before it even becomes dangerous. Together, they give Arsenal an extra layer of defensive intelligence in central areas that most teams simply don't have. The fullbacks are the engine room of this system. Without them doing their job perfectly, the whole structure falls apart. The Saliba effect? Let's talk about William Saliba specifically. Because he is the single most important player in this defensive system. Not because he's the loudest or the most aggressive, but because he's the calmest. When a striker breaks through and it's 1 versus 1, Saliba doesn't panic. He doesn't dive in, he stays on his feet, he jockeys, he waits. He forces the attacker wide, or forces them to take a bad touch, and then he wins the ball cleanly. What makes him so dangerous in this system is his ability to play the offside trap at the exact right moment. He reads the game a full second before everyone else. He knows when the ball is going to be played before the passer even decides. Think about how rare that is. Most defenders react. Saliba anticipates. That split-second difference is what separates a successful offside trap from a catastrophic defensive error. That kind of intelligence is what allows Arsenal to defend so high without getting exposed. Saliba is the safety net. He's the reason the high line doesn't become a liability, the midfield shield. Arsenal's defensive system doesn't just rely on the back four. The midfield is equally important. And Thomas Partey, when fit, is the key piece. His job is to sit in front of the defense and act as a shield. Every time the opposition tries to play through the middle, Partey is there. He intercepts. He blocks passing lanes. He wins second balls. But it's not just about what he does with the ball. It's about where he positions himself without it. He constantly scans the pitch, identifies where the danger is coming from, and positions himself to cut it off before it even develops. He doesn't just react to the ball. He reacts to the movement of players around the ball. He's blocking passing lanes that haven't even been attempted yet. When Partey is missing, you can see the difference immediately. The space in front of the defense opens up. Teams find it easier to play through Arsenal's midfield. The shield is gone. That's how important his role is to the entire structure. The shape without the ball. When Arsenal lose possession, they don't just scramble. They immediately shift into a very specific defensive shape. The two central midfielders drop into a double pivot. The wide forwards track back to form a compact mid-block. The fullbacks hold their positions and don't get caught high. Within 2 or 3 seconds of losing the ball, Arsenal are already in their defensive shape. This is called a defensive transition, and Arsenal are one of the best in the world at it. The reason it works is because every player knows their role the moment possession is lost. There's no confusion. No one is pointing at each other wondering who should track the runner. The shape is automatic. It's been drilled so many times that it's muscle memory. When you watch other teams lose the ball, there's always a moment of hesitation, a second where players look around and figure out what to do next. Arsenal don't have that second. They're already moving. And because they recover shape so quickly, opposition teams rarely get a clean counter-attack opportunity. The Gabriel and Saliba partnership. Gabriel Magalhães and William Saliba are arguably the best center-back partnership in European football right now. And the reason they work so well together isn't just individual quality, it's how they complement each other. Saliba is the composed, intelligent one. He reads the game, plays the offside trap, and rarely makes a mistake. Gabriel is the aggressive, physical one. He wins headers. He makes last-ditch tackles. He's vocal and organizes the line. Together, they cover each other's weaknesses perfectly. When Saliba steps out to press, Gabriel covers the space behind. When Gabriel goes to win a header, Saliba positions himself to deal with the second ball. They communicate constantly. They trust each other completely. You can see it in the way they move. When one steps, the other holds. When one goes to ground, the other stays on his feet. It's like they share one brain between them. That trust is what allows them to defend so high without fear. They know that if one of them makes a mistake, the other is there to clean it up. The role of David Raya, people underestimate how important the goalkeeper is to this system. David Raya isn't just there to save shots. He's the sweeper keeper, the last line of defense behind the high line. When a ball is played in behind Arsenal's defense, Raya is already sprinting off his line to claim it before the striker can get there. His ability to read when to come and when to stay is critical. If he comes too early, he gets lobbed. If he comes too late, the striker is through on goal. Raya gets it right almost every time. He's also exceptional with the ball at his feet, which matters because Arsenal's press forces the opposition to go long. When those long balls come back to Raya, he needs to distribute quickly and accurately to restart the press. A slow or inaccurate distribution breaks the press immediately. The opposition gets a second to breathe. The momentum is lost. Raya's ability to play out under pressure keeps the system running continuously. He's not just a goalkeeper, he's the 11th outfield player in this system. The mental side of defending this way. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Defending with a high line, pressing constantly, and setting offside traps is mentally exhausting. One moment of lost concentration and you've given up a goal. One player who switches off and the whole system breaks down. Arsenal's players have to be switched on for 90 minutes. Every single one of them. That level of collective concentration is incredibly rare. Mikel Arteta has built a culture at Arsenal where defensive discipline is non-negotiable. Players who don't press properly get substituted. Players who drop their line without instruction get corrected immediately. The standards are relentless. There's a reason Arsenal have conceded so few goals against elite European opposition. It's not just talent, it's the refusal to switch off. Ever. And that's why this system works at the highest level. Not just in the Premier League, but in the Champions League against the best teams in Europe. It's not just a tactical system, it's a mentality. And Arsenal have made it their identity.